like telling a story today, so stay tuned. Today's video, as you can tell from the title, is going to be about the first time that I got very drunk. It was my cousin's 21st birthday and he's 3 months older than me, so if you do the math correctly, I technically wasn't supposed to be drinking, but who is when they have their first drink? With that being said, don't judge me. How should I start this off? Okay, before getting into the story, I have to explain like the premise, I would say. It wasn't a traditional birthday get-together as you would expect. There's this thing called a cooler fed. We're from Miami, so there's always like Caribbean parties, soca, dancehall, all of that. There was this cooler fed where wherever you're from, if you're from Antigua, you're from Jamaica, any of those places, you basically put together a cooler, and inside the cooler you have unlimited liquor. You can put whatever you want in it. If you want just juice, you can put just juice in there, which nobody at the party was drinking just juice, might I add. But you could put as much liquor as you wanted in there as long as it could fit. And there was a contest, so whoever put together the best looking cooler won the contest at the end of the night. My cousin is, well, we're Jamaican descent. Our family's from Jamaica, so that's who we rep when we go to Caribbean parties. And his best friend went with us that night. She is Trinidadian. So on one side of the cooler there was like a Jamaican flag, the other side of the cooler there was a Trinidadian flag. And my cousin is good with electronics, so he found a way to like wire it up and put LEDs on the inside and then a switch on the outside where nobody would be able to see it. So we think that it was like a LED cooler. I got there that day. I drove down from Orlando to go to the party and celebrate with him because he's turning 21. We're like brothers, so everything major we always celebrate together. So I drove down. I want to say I got down about like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the party wasn't until that night, so he still had that whole time to put the cooler together. Well, finish putting the final touches on the cooler. He had to put the LEDs on there, and he had to actually put the liquor inside the cooler. I don't remember exactly what liquor he had, but I know that there was Amsterdam, there was Hennessy, there was Sky Vodka, and there was something else. And we're talking like the big bottles, not the personal bottles, but like big bottles. That being said, around like 6 o'clock is when he was completely done putting the cooler together. I remember my aunt and uncle were out. They weren't here. They were out of town for that weekend. I think they were in Jamaica that weekend. And we basically had the whole house to ourselves. So from the time that he finished the cooler to the time that we left to go, we were pretty much just walking around the house doing nothing, basically waiting for the time to come to start celebrating. We got picked up that night. His best friend's car, this is going to come in later in the video. She has a blacked out Audi A4. I think, let's just say the car was brand new. She kept it in mint condition, smelled new, looked new, it was clean. She picked us up for the party. It was her best friend, and then, okay, her and her best friend were in the front of the car. Me and my cousin were in the back seat because, of course, he's 21, he's drinking, he's not driving, and I'm right there with him. So I took the back seat. As soon as we got in the car, like 10 minutes after that, I think it was like 11:30, 11:40, somewhere about there, and we were already on our way to the party. They turned around and gave him a personal bottle, and that was basically his birthday gift that they provided him with. They gave him a bottle of Hennessy. It wasn't an actual like personal bottle, but they said that that's for you to sip on throughout the night. So they gave him, I would say a medium-sized bottle of Hennessy, and as soon as he got it, he opened it. After he opened it, he took a shot, and then he passed me the bottle. So we're just going back and forth, and we finally finished that medium-sized bottle of Hennessy. Dark liquor, might I add. After we got through with that bottle of Hennessy, we think we opened another bottle, if I'm not mistaken. But that second bottle we shared throughout the car. So the two in the front had Hennessy. The driver obviously wasn't drinking. She drank her cup as soon as we got there. She drank it outside of the party. And then the one in the passenger seat, she was sipping on her cup. My cousin, he poured himself a cup, and then I poured myself a cup. So we already finished the medium-sized bottle of Hennessy, and then we had another cup of Hennessy after that. We're at the party now, and his friends that were driving down with us, they arrived too. They were driving behind us. They had another car full of like 4 people. So in all, I would say it was about 8 of us. Yeah, 8. We all go to the front of the party. We have to check in. Now, you know the embarrassing moment when you get to the front and then they put the little X on your hand to let them know that you're not able to drink. Well, I got a big black X because I'm not supposed to be drinking, and I was 20, so what? My cousin and his friends, though, they got their light green wristbands, I think, and then we had to show our ticket, go through the pat down, the whole procedure, whatever. We finally got into the party, and the music is already blasting. Everyone's having a good time, reaching down into their coolers, pulling out their liquor, and everybody's enjoying themselves, basically. When we found our spot, we found like a secluded spot over to the side. It was an outside party, but it wasn't really outside. It was an outside party with covering over us, so it wasn't completely outside, in a sense, because we were covered in some way. But the part that we were at, there was like a tall mesh shielding us from the outside, like the grass area. So we were right at the edge, but say if water was to come through, it would be coming directly at us. That's gonna come into play. We found that spot, and of course, we pop open the cooler. Everyone reaches in, takes out what they want to drink for the night. I was still sipping on the cup of Hennessy that we poured in the car. So I finished that. Then I reached in, and there was a bottle of Ciroc in there. I forgot to mention that. There was a bottle of Ciroc, a half bottle of Ciroc. I pulled that out, and I started pouring myself Ciroc and Red Bull. Ciroc and Red Bull, red berry Ciroc and Red Bull, that's my drink. My cousin, basically, he actually told me about that drink, and I like it. I like the way that it tastes. So I opened the half bottle of red berry Ciroc, poured myself a cup. I only got like 2 red cups out of that, what was left in the bottle. So I finished that. By now, it's already 12 o'clock. We told him happy birthday. When 12 o'clock hit, though, the music, like there was like a small break in the music. One of his friends popped open a bottle of Bel Air, yeah, the champagne. He popped that open right after it struck 12. So everyone took a birthday shot with my cousin. Mind you, I was already drinking the Hennessy. I was in the middle of drinking Ciroc, and now I'm drinking champagne. We all did that. Then I went back to my Red Bull and Ciroc. I finished my second cup, and there's no more liquor. I really wasn't feeling as drunk as I was, probably because of the Red Bull. My advice to anyone that does not know their tolerance: do not mix your drinks with Red Bull, because I've proven it time and time again. You might be able to tolerate liquor, but once you add Red Bull to the equation, it gives you so much energy that you don't even feel drunk. You don't feel as drunk as you actually are. So, because I was drinking Ciroc and Red Bull, I said, alright, I'm feeling fine. I'm going to pop open another bottle. I reached in, Mind you, I told my cousin, why are you putting Amsterdam inside the cooler? Because who drinks Amsterdam? You would think that I cursed. He looked at me like, are you crazy? Amsterdam tastes amazing. Of course, me, because I never had it, I was just like, no, it's all about Ciroc, it's all about this, it's all about that. I never had Amsterdam before that. So I was just talking a bunch of mess, didn't know what I was talking about. I opened the bottle of Amsterdam just to prove him wrong. Mind you, this was probably the biggest bottle in the cooler. I pulled open the Amsterdam. It was the apple flavor, I think it was. I think it was the green apple Amsterdam. The big bottle. I opened that and I took a straight shot because the Red Bull was done too. Took a straight shot. I remember after I took that shot, I was just like, this tastes amazing. This tastes like apple juice. Then I turned to my cousin and I was just like, I didn't know that it tastes this good. He was just like, see, I told you. Of course, I'm not acting drunk. I'm not slurring my speech. I'm just having a good time. So nobody turned to me and was like, all right, maybe you need to slow down, or you don't need to open that bottle. Nobody told me that. So of course, I opened the bottle. I'm gonna keep drinking. I got about quarter way and then I started feeling it like, all right, I'm good. But I'm feeling nice. So the two girls that drove with us, I turned to them and I was just like, you guys want to take a shot? And they said, sure. So I poured them a shot. Well, they took 2 shots from the bottle actually because they were drinking something else. I forgot what they were drinking. But they took 2 shots to the head and then I turned to my cousin and I handed him the bottle. He took 1 shot out of that and then I took a shot after him. Mind you, after each girl took a shot, I took 1. So right now, we're about like a little bit less than quarter because a shot isn't that much. So I gave his best friend a shot, his best friend's best friend a shot. I took 2 shots and then I turned to my cousin, gave him the bottle to take a shot, and then I took 1. After that, I turned to his other friends, the guys, and they were smoking, they were drinking, so they didn't want to take like mix. So I got about halfway and then that's when I was just like, all right, I can feel myself getting to my limit, or what I thought was my limit. So I stopped. After that, I remember dancing and I was taking like videos throughout the night, but I specifically remember taking one last video with me and my cousin dancing. If I can find it on Snapchat or whatever I posted it on, I'll insert it right after this clip. I specifically remember that snap that I took. After that, absolutely nothing. I don't remember how we got into the car. I don't remember how we got home. I don't remember anything after that. It's honestly like I went to sleep, but obviously I wasn't sleeping. I can almost feel the judgment that I'm gonna get after I upload this video, but whatever, I was having a good time. The morning after, remember I told you that his parents were not home. I remember waking up and looking up at the ceiling and having like a strong urge to throw up. Now, me, I don't know what it is about the smell of liquor after drinking, after a night of drinking, I smelled like nothing but liquor and I had to throw up. I remember rolling over onto all fours and then crawling into the bathroom and throwing up into the toilet. I know it sounds gross, but part of the story. Mind you, I was still feeling good. I felt amazing. However, there's a big however, but comma, I smelled like complete and utter shit. Sorry, there's no other way to put it. I smelled awful. Like, I don't even know what to compare the smell to. And me, I've never been drunk before, so I've never thrown up before. I've never done anything like that. So I didn't know what it smelled like to have vomit on you and all of that. But from the looks of it, I was clean. I just smelled awful. So, of course, I'm not staying in these clothes. I took it off, went inside the shower. Mind you, I almost fell in the shower. I finished washing off, came out the shower, dried off, and put on some fresh clothes. That whole time, I'm not remembering that my cousin was there. So as soon as I heard his voice, like, he was upstairs on the phone with someone. So I ran upstairs. Mind you, I was still drunk, so I kind of stumbled up the stairs. I stumbled up the stairs to his room, and then he has like this little futon in his room, and I just dropped in it. And he's basically retelling everything that happened the night before. Everything after that snap that I took that he explained, I kept telling him, like, I don't remember this. I don't remember what you're saying. Like, what you're telling me, I don't remember. It's honestly like, you know, like how you have a video reel, like you have nothing but footage, and then there's like this sharp cut where there's nothing, and then the tape's cut back on. That's basically what it felt like. It felt like there was this long gap of time that I don't remember. I remember telling him though that I felt sore, like my leg was sore to the point where it felt like someone was kicking me. Like they just went through a whole night of kicking me. And then my foot started hurting. Like, you know when you pull a muscle in your foot? That's honestly what it felt like. It felt like I was running for a long time at the gym. I did something wrong and I pulled a muscle in my foot. After I told him that there was like a problem, like I felt like my foot, I pulled a muscle in my foot, him and his friends, the friends that he's on the phone with, they just started laughing. And I'm looking at them like, why are you laughing? I'm telling you, like, I'm in pain. Like, why are you guys laughing at me? But I'm feeling like, okay, well, they're just laughing because maybe they know something that I don't. Maybe I did something stupid at the party and I forgot. It was honestly much more than that. After I told him that, he basically went through the whole night. After the video Snapchat, apparently I fell. And remember I told you we were right next to the grass area. I fell right there. The rain started and wet me up. That's why I woke up clean in a sense. I wasn't completely clean, but I was washed off by the rain. So I was soaked by the rain on top of vomit, and the vomit smells like liquor. So you can only imagine what I smelled like when I woke up the day after. Hence why I threw up. I think he said that it was right before the time when we were supposed to leave. He was leaving and one of the club promoters turned back and was just like, isn't that your boy over there, like on the floor? And he turned back. I was folded up on the floor, and the way that I was folded, I guess he didn't notice that it was me, and he was drinking, so obviously he's thinking that I left with the others. So when he looked back and he saw that it was me, he let go of his cooler and he turned back to come and get me. Obviously my cousin is about 80 pounds lighter than me, so he's not going to be able to lift me up. So he called two of his friends to help put me in the car. So he left the cooler there. They got back to the car, and apparently like they were yelling at me to get in the car. So them yelling at me and telling me get in the car, obviously it's going in one ear and out the other because I'm a walking zombie. To get me in the car, which I found out after many days of telling him that there was something wrong with my foot, they basically shoved me in the car. To get the door closed, they were kicking me, they were punching me, doing a whole bunch of stuff just to get me to get in the car. And of course, I'm drunk, I cannot feel this. So they successfully got me in the car. Close the door. Remember how I told you his best friend's car was basically brand new, all black, and black interior. I threw up in her car. I don't mean a little bit, I threw up in her car. Like, I threw up in her backseat. After that, I think we moved on to when we got to his driveway. Now, me, I'm a person who suffers from back problems. I woke up with like subtle pains the following morning, and I was just like, maybe it's whatever. He said he was in the driveway dragging me out of the car, like dragging me up the driveway through his garage into the guest bedroom. After he said like I was in the driveway, I was just like, all right, let me think back. Still didn't get it. He, after punching me and kept punching me. I didn't remember this until like 2 or 3 days after when he told me what happened again. And I remember like a piece of what happened came back, and I was just like, get up. After like the third punch, I was just like, stop hitting me. And I can remember like saying the words. It felt like I was speaking super fast, but the words were coming out so slow. After like the fourth punch, I said, I'm trying. Like I said it, saying it, I sounded like a complete idiot. It came out so slow. It more likely sounded like, I'm trying. And he just kept going. I don't know how he finally did get me inside. That was basically the ending of that night. After a couple days of me telling my cousin like my foot is getting worse, like it feels like I broke something in my foot, he was just like, your foot hurts because they were kicking and punching you to get you into the car. And the reason that your back was hurting the following morning is probably because I was punching you and telling you get up and you wouldn't get up. So that basically filled in some of the space. There's still a bunch of things that happened that night that I don't remember. Overall, it was a fun night. The blacking out part wasn't fun. I've never been that drunk and I don't plan on getting that drunk again. I would say to anyone that is drinking, mind your liquor. Like if you know that you cannot handle your liquor, if you know that there's like that one drink that might set you over the edge, do not do it. Because blacking out, I honestly don't know how we got home. I'm only going off of what my cousin explained to me. I don't remember anything that happened that night. And you might think that I'm exaggerating because I thought before this that, oh, well, they remember, they just don't want to admit to it because they were drunk. But no, I blacked out. Like I don't remember anything that happened from 3 o'clock that night to when I woke up in the guest bedroom. All of that was like a long space of time that I was basically a zombie. So that's it for the time that I blacked out. Leave a comment in the comment section down below if it's ever happened to you. You know someone that it's happened to. It's not my best moment, but hey, I enjoyed myself. Life is about enjoying yourself and having fun experiences, and that was one of them. That's something that I'm never gonna forget. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Share it with any of your friends. It's a good laugh at me. Hell, I laugh at myself. But yeah, that was the time that I blacked out. See you in my next video.